Hey there, dragon folk. Welcome on back to more Clash Bash fun. It is time to go on to our game 2 against Nathaniel, where I had to switch my own deck to my second hero, and Nathaniel actually decided to switch his own deck as well to the second deck that he was playing. And let me tell you, you are in for one heck of a game. Let's go ahead and take a look at the game itself. I'm going to be on Kayo, and my opponent, Nathaniel, is going to be on FaB. All right, so here we are in the game. Just wanted to quickly go over kind of everything that's here. You are going to see that there is a Knucklehead, you've got Barkbone Strapping, Goliath Gauntlet, and Beaten Trackers. This is kind of a nice 4 block. This will help with any of those on hits. And then I am running Ball Breaker. This KO build is the KO build that I actually built for the YouTube video that I made. So if you guys want to check out the build for that, you can go ahead and check that out on our channel. And then the FaB build, this is actually something that I think Nathaniel just made maybe like, I don't know, a day before this event happened. And this was, it's a really powerful build too. I mean, FaB has always had kind of a nice upper hand, especially with this new mask that you see with having to, if you make 3 hits in a chain link, you go ahead and, or 3 hits and on a combat chain, you can destroy it to draw a card. It's Mask of Momentum, but only once, and it does not have to be consecutive, which is really, really good. We've got the Heat Wave for the Phoenix Flames, Vest for the 2 resources if you've hit, and then you have the Snapdragon Scalers. So let's go ahead and get into the game real quick. I did speed this up like we did the last one, and I kind of wanted to just go ahead and talk about the game itself and what we're working with. So I believe I am going first here. Now, this KO build's pretty aggressive in most cases. I'm going to go ahead and get myself set up with an Assault and Battery, so that way I have an Agility and a Might token for the next turn. Of course, this is coming in for 7, so quite a bit of damage starting off. But of course, it is the turn 0, so my opponent does have the option to pretty much block out as much as possible and then be able to draw up to their max hand size at the end of their turn. And I go ahead and get these tokens all set up, get that ready to go. I don't have any go again, so I'm just going to arsenal that card and pass it on over. Now, my game plan here is, of course, to just take a bunch of big attacks and swing in. A lot of ninja cards don't block for 3, they block for 2. So it is very helpful to have those giant attacks come through and kind of whittle down their attack. But FaB also has a lot of really powerful and really long chain links. So it tends to be a matter of who can block better. But in most cases at the beginning of the game, nobody's really blocking. I decided to block the Rising Resentment here because I don't want any on hits to happen. They're then going to go ahead and they're going to swing in with a Flame Call Awakening. So that Flame Call Awakening is then going to grab them a Phoenix Flame because they did play a red card from their hand. And as they go to get that Phoenix Flame, you know, I'm just assuming this chain's going to be kind of crazy. I'm going to take 3 life here just because I don't want to keep blocking with cards in my hand. I do want to be able to do something on my turn, and I feel like I can present a lot of damage. I'm also not sure how long this chain is going to go. So Phoenix Flame's going to come in. This is the 3rd Draconic chain link, so he can get a Phoenix Flame back from grave. I'm going to take 1 here, and then they're going to swing another in there. This is 4 chain links, but I'm going to block this one with Barkbone Strapping just to prevent some damage. And then they're going to swing an Ember Blade for 3. This is also has go again. We're at 5 chain links now, and I don't have much in my hand, so I'm just going to efficiently block as best as possible. They're going to come in with a Snatch, and this is where I go, do I want to block this out? Right? They get an additional card to arsenal if they hit, but I still can't do nearly anything on my turn, and this is a 6 chain link attack. He can also, at this point, if this hits, he can play Mask of the 3 Tails and Snapdragon Scalers to pretty much see whether or not he wants to blind into a next attack. But I take the 4 here, and he's going to be able to draw a card. I've taken 8 damage on this turn, and I have 1 card in hand. So we're not exactly looking at the best of our concepts here, but it is what it is. This game then we are going to our next move, we have the agility and we have the might, so we can swing with a ball breaker and possibly come in for something else afterwards. But we are going to come in with a pulping, and the pulping is going to go ahead. We're going to draw discard off of pulping. It is going to, their opponent's going to choose, what do we have here? This is going to be that card there, and it is a 6, as most things are in Kayo's deck. So this is now a red pulping coming in for 7 dominate and go again so far. If they block with a D-react and 3 block, then it'll be different, but my opponent decides to take no blocks because as FaB, you probably don't have to, and they're just going to take 7, and then my next turn is I'm just going to go ahead and do the best that I can with my resources. I get that might token because I discarded a 6, and then I'm probably going to go ahead and ball breaker here because I only have 1 floating. I could break Barkbone Strapping, which I end up doing, it looks like. I break Barkbone Strapping to roll. I got a roll on camera. I got a 5, so I do get some extra resources there. And now I get to go ahead and use... I wanted to keep this card in Arsenal. It's another pulping, if I recall correctly. It's a yellow pulping. I thought about pulping again, but I decided not to. I was like, no, I should probably keep it. I'm just going to ball breaker, and that way I can keep a card for Arsenal, and I'll come in for 4 and then end. So you'll see I dealt way more damage than my opponent did. I dealt 11 to their 8 on just a little, small attack there, but that brought them down below my health total, which allows this Scar for a Scar to really come in clutch. Scar for a Scar coming in for 4. It has go again because he does have less life than I do, which is very unfortunate for me. And it's just raw damage, so I'm not sure if I really want to block it. So I'm going to take it here. So we're down to that little bit. We're moving into the next attack, which is a Rising Resentment, again for the red. We are going to block this one because we don't want them to get any kind of cost reduction on their stuff. We do have a Lava Vein Loyalty for 3 more. This is the 3rd chain link now. So I'm going to take 3 here. FaB is going to go ahead and get that Phoenix Flame. Hey, editing Alex here. Just wanted to make a quick little thing there. The Phoenix Flame that's coming in right now actually has to be pitched 4. Scar for Scar is not a Draconic attack, and therefore there are only 2 Draconic chain links on the combat chain as opposed to 3, which will allow FaB to get the Phoenix Flame back for free. As you'll see during this chain link, it really doesn't matter the order in which this comes in, but it is important to note that you do need the 3 Draconic chain links here instead of 2, otherwise he would have needed to pitch in order for that to happen. So little mistake on our end as we were playing, but I do want to go ahead and just make that known. It's not going to affect the game though at all, so you'll see as we continue on. Phoenix Flame is going to come in for 1 more. That is going to be another no block. I'm going to go down to 4. This is getting very risky because it is just incredible. The chain links are just going and going and going. He's pitching now, going to play that Searing Ember Blade for 3. My turn here is no blocks, if I recall correctly. And yeah, so no blocks. I go down to 1. He's going to go ahead and pop the mask. The mask can be popped on weapon attacks because it's just at any attack that hit. As long as they have 3 attacks that hit during the chain link, which they did, then they get to go ahead and get a new card. I'm at 1 here, and you'll realize you're probably thinking to yourself, Alex, why haven't you blocked with anything in regards to these attacks? Are you really just trying to wait to the last moment? They come in with a breaking point for 5. I have 3 block in my hand, or in there. But as you can see right here, I have 3 block in my equipment. So I could have blocked the Ember Blade, right? And I feel like I should have, because if I blocked the Ember Blade, then I would have at least stopped them from, drawing a card and coming in with something else. But they did have at least something. And the reason I lost here is because, as you can tell, this is a Bare Fangs and 2 Wild Rides. 3 cards that do not block in this hand. So even if I blocked this, and my opponent could come in with what they were going to come in with here, which is a Salt the Wound, Salt the Wound, if I blocked 3 here, I was at 1. I would have been at 4 if I didn't take it here. This Salt the Wound would have then come in. I would have been able to block nothing because I have 3 no blocks in hand. And the Salt the Wound would have come in for 1, 2, 3, plus 2, 5, and it would have killed me. And that is really just an unfortunate scenario for me because again, this game is over. I'm done. Like that's the end of the game. This was the quickest game I've ever played of Flesh and Blood in my life. I mean, you're looking, we're only 10 minutes into the video. We're not even at 15 or 20 minutes. We are 10 minutes into the video. That game took no time whatsoever. And that's because I decided to end up drawing into 3 no blocks on my turn. It's one of those situations where I'm wondering whether or not I should have blocked earlier in the game with anything, like blocking out a Phoenix Flame or so on and so forth. The mask is really a nice threat into Clash, but it didn't seem like they really wanted to use it on the first round. But going another, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chain links. 2 6 to 7 turn chain links in the matter of 2 turns. I was blown out of the water. That's because a lot of FaB stuff that just come in with a lot. There's not really much they can do in regards to having not a ton of power. All their stuff comes in for 3, sometimes 4 if you're playing the Blaze Headlongs and so on and so forth. And it really just ramps up the damage. Mask of the Three Tails is also a huge shout out to that card because it is incredibly good. Being able to, even if it's just your final card, being able to draw and play whatever you have next coming out. All of that was able to happen off of a blue pitch. A blue pitch was able to get 6 chain links out. 7 if I blocked it out, and then they came in with the Salt the Wound. So it was very much so it was a rough game. I didn't like it. And this is a quick reminder. Make sure to test your decks when you play them. I'm not saying that the Kayo deck was bad. I don't think it is. I think the Kayo deck is very good. I think it is just very unfortunate that I drew into 3 no block cards on a turn where they had the nuts. And sometimes that's just variance, baby. That's just what happens. So if you guys like the video, make sure to give it a like, smooch that little like button down there at the bottom. You can also go ahead and subscribe to the channel too if you guys did enjoy this Clash content. We're hoping to see more and more matchups. Heck, I'm building a FaB deck now. I already had a FaB deck, but I'm tuning it a little bit. I don't have that mask yet, so I'm probably going to just buy the Tolarian Community College bundle so I can get the Bittering Thorns and so on and so forth, and then move on from there. But make sure to subscribe if you want to see more Clash content. Let me know in the comments down below how bad of a KO deck you think that I had, because my goodness, that was just like a rough variance. And on top of it, also let me know what you guys would like to see as far as matchups go in Clash. Clash is a format that I know a lot of people don't know exists, so I do want to kind of make sure that it gets to everybody's eyes and they're able to check it out, see what happens. And I am very happy to share that content with you when I can get these games out to other people. If you're also looking to support the channel in a nice monetary sense, please, please, please feel free to become a channel member. We do have a nice, pretty easy, I think it's like a $2 or $3 option for you to join. You get emotes, you get special videos for members only, and we have, a nice little community of people. So I'm always happy to, if you guys wanted to share that and become a part of the channel member, I do certainly appreciate it. It's not necessary, but I know a lot of people like showing their support in more than one way. But even just hitting that subscribe button is enough, and it's free. So thank you guys for showing your support for the channel. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you continue to have a lot of fun in Flesh and Blood, and I will see you all in the next video. Nerd out.